Welcome to hypothesis testing lecture series from School of Contribution. Today we are going to discuss what is hypothesis testing and different types of hypothesis. Hypothesis means making specific hypotheses about population parameters and using sample parameters to make inference about population parameters. So hypothesis মানে হচ্ছে দুইটা পার্ট। ফার্স্ট পার্ট হচ্ছে মেকিং স্পেসিফিক হাইপোথিস অ্যাবাউট পপুলেশন প্যারামিটার্স, আমাদের সেকেন্ড পার্ট হচ্ছে ইউজিং স্যাম্পল প্যারামিটার্স টু মেক ইনফারেন্স অ্যাবাউট পপুলেশন প্যারামিটার্স। এখানে আমরা দুইটা প্যারামিটার দেখতে পাচ্ছি, একটা হচ্ছে স্যাম্পল, একটা হচ্ছে পপুলেশন। সো লেট আস নো what are those parameters. First, to discuss population parameters. The population parameters are these are the three different population parameters. The first one is population mean referred by mu, second one is population variance referred by sigma square, third one is population standard deviation referred by sigma. And these are the three population parameters. Sample parameters are these are the three sample parameters. First one is sample mean referred by x bar, second one is sample variance referred by sigma x square, third one is sample standard deviation that's called referred by sigma x. এখানে আমরা একটা ডিফারেন্স নোটিস করি, সেটা হচ্ছে ইন কেস অফ পপুলেশন ভেরিয়েন্স উই রেফার পপুলেশন ভেরিয়েন্স বাই সিগমা স্কোয়ার and standard deviation by sigma. In case of sample we refer sample standard deviation as sigma, sample variance as sigma x square and standard deviation sigma x. Here x refers to the sample, that's the only difference. So these are the three parameters for population and sample. Now we using the parameter concept, now we can present hypothesis in this following graphical manner. So first of all, the first step of hypothesis testing is collecting sample data, then in this sample data, this observation, then using the sample data to make inference about the population, using the sample data to collect or to calculate our sample statistic, that means sample mean, sample variance and sample standard deviation. Then we use these sample parameters to make inference about our population parameter, that means population mean, population variance and population standard deviation. And then in a sense we can say that hypothesis testing is all about making inference, as you see, using sample parameters to know about population parameters. So this is the process of hypothesis testing. So this is the simplified version what is hypothesis testing is all about. Now we go on to discuss what are the different types of hypothesis. Hypotheses are basically two types. One is called null hypothesis, another is called alternative hypothesis. A null hypothesis is referred by HO, alternative hypothesis is referred by H1. Sometimes it is referred by H1, it doesn't matter, it's a notation. So you can refer null hypothesis as HO and alternative hypothesis as HA. Now what is null hypothesis? First of all, we discuss null hypothesis. Null hypothesis is, in a sense, null hypothesis is a hypothesis that is formed about unknown population parameters and assuming it is true without testing it. That means that null hypothesis একটা hypothesis যেটা আমরা population parameter উপরে একটা assumption তৈরি করে formulate করি এবং এই hypothesisটা আমরা assume করি না it is true without testing. So it is a hypothesis that is assumed to be true without testing. এটা হচ্ছে আমাদের ডেফিনেশন। এখন আমরা এই ডেফিনেশনটাকে একটা এক্সাম্পল আকারে এখানে দেখে নিই, তাহলে আমরা ইজিলি বুঝতে পারবো what is null hypothesis is all about. So let us consider the following example. The example says that what is the average daily income of CNG drivers? The answer is we do not know it exactly, but initially we can make some guess from our daily observation or speculation. We assume that average daily income of CNG drivers is 600 টাকা। এটা হচ্ছে আমাদের ডেইলি একটা অবজারভেশন থেকে আমরা assumption করতে পারি, because we do not know the exact income. So we can say that on an average the CNG drivers earns 600 taka daily. So in a sense this is our null hypothesis, and null hypothesis is referred by HO, and since we are interested in knowing the mean daily income of CNG drivers, we refer mean by mu, that's called population mean, the total, the gross mean of CNG drivers income, and then mu is equal to 600 taka, because we assume that their average daily income is 600 taka. So this is our null hypothesis, and this is our assumption, and we form this assumption from our daily observation or speculation about the population. So this is null hypothesis. Now once we know what is null hypothesis, now we can go on to discuss alternative hypothesis. Alternative hypothesis is simply the hypothesis that is put opposite to the null hypothesis. Sometimes it is called the research hypothesis, as you see, is called the research hypothesis that is put counter to null hypothesis. So আমরা এখানে একটা example দিয়েছি, let us consider the following example. So far we know our null hypothesis is 600 because we know that mean income is 600. This is now our null hypothesis. Now what is our alternate hypothesis? One of the alternate hypothesis is that the mean daily income of CNG driver could be more than 600 taka or could be less than 600 taka. That means it could be not equal to 600 taka. It could be less, it could be more, but not equal to 600. So it is আমাদের alternate hypothesis. এই hypothesis হচ্ছে এই hypothesis opposite. So this hypothesis is put counter to this null hypothesis. So HA, as we see, HA is equal, HA hypothesis, or our alternate hypothesis is mu not equal to 600. So as we see, refresh, we can say this is our null hypothesis and this is our alternative hypothesis, that is port counter to this null hypothesis. Okay, so far in this video we have discussed the different types of hypotheses and the meaning of different types of hypotheses and what is hypothesis in all about, and that's all from this video.